Saints, you've heard that there is a pre-tribulation rapture. You've heard from others that there's a mid-tribulation rapture, and still from others that the rapture, that the catching up of the saints is at the end of the tribulation. I'm here to tell you something you've probably never heard before. They are all right. There is a pre-tribulation rapture for those that are waiting, watching, on the alert. Coming. He's coming at an hour, he said, when you don't expect him. There's a mid-tribulation rapture. And that people, those ones left at the end of the tribulation, they have to be caught up. And I want to show you that very quickly and very simply, saints. Pay attention. It's not hard to see. They're all right, but they're fighting amongst themselves. Which one's right? Matthew 24, starting in verse 42. Therefore, be on the alert, for you do not know which day your Lord's coming. He's always warning you about these things, saints. You don't know when he's coming. Be on the alert. You're supposed to have your lamp lit, waiting, watching, not loving the world. Verse 43, be sure of this, he says, that if the head of the house had known at what time of the night the thief was coming, he would have been on the alert. It always says he's coming as a thief in the middle of the night. You're to be on the alert. You're to be ready. He's coming as a thief. Thieves come in. You don't see them. You don't expect them. They always catch you off guard. They come in the night. They're silent. They sneak in. That's the thief in the night. And then what else do we have, saints? In 1 Corinthians 15, chapter 15, verses 51 and 52. Listen to this, saints. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. What he's saying, we ain't all going to die. Paul says, I'm going to tell you a mystery. We're not all going to die, but we will all be changed. Verse 52. But he said, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed. He's saying we're not all going to die, but we shall all be changed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. When? At the last trumpet. What's the New Testament got in trumpets? Only in the book of Revelation. The last trumpet is the seventh trumpet. See, my message is on those things. I want to make this message short, clear, precise, to get the point to you. But I have went over those things many times. But here, he said that I'll tell you a mystery. We're all going to be changed in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. Now, let's make this clear, saints, here in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. This is what it says here, saints. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet, again, the trumpet of God. And the dead in Christ shall rise first. Just what Paul was just telling you. But what I want you to see that's so simple, it's so clear, saints, have your ears opened, have your eyes opened. He's coming as a thief. And here Paul said, for the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout and with the voice of the archangel and with the trumpet of God. Does that sound like a thief sneaking up on you in the middle of the night, coming when you don't expect it? This is the Lord descending from heaven with a shout, the voice of an archangel, and a trumpet. No thief has ever walked around at night shouting, here I come, blowing a trumpet, I'm here and I'm going to rob your home. These are two different things. He's coming as a thief in the night. For those that are waiting, watching, alert, their lamps are lit, they don't love the world. But he's going to come and get the church at the middle of the tribulation. And he's going to come and the dead in Christ will rise first then. And he's going to come with a shout and with the voice of an archangel and with the sound of a trumpet. It's going to be clear. That's not a thief in the night, saints. That's a declaration. He's coming. He's told you he's here. He's shouting. He's blowing the trumpet. Those can't be the same thing. And that's at the middle of the tribulation. You'll have to see my messages on the book of Revelations for those things. Can't go over that right now. But then what about the Israelis as they turn to Christ in the midway point of the tribulation? The time of the Gentiles is over. The Gentile church is caught up here when he descends and the dead in Christ rise first. And you got this shout, and you got this voice of an archangel, and you got this trumpet. That's at the middle of the tribulation. And at that point, the Antichrist turns against the Hebrews. As they turn to Christ through the work of those two witnesses, through the preaching, death, resurrection, and rapture of those two witnesses, the Jewish people turn to the Lord in a powerful way, and the Antichrist persecutes them. When he returns on those white horses with us and destroys the kingdom of the beast and the Antichrist, those Israelis, those Hebrew believers that are still alive and remain, they must be caught up. All three are white, saints. He's coming as a thief when you don't expect it. And if you're asleep and not alert, he's going to rob you. How he's going to rob you? Because you got that place at the wedding feast at the pre-tribulation rapture. And if you're caught off guard and that thief catches you off guard, you've lost that reward. You've been violated. You've had something taken from you. That pre-tribulation rapture, that wedding feast with him at his Father's house. But he is coming at the middle of the tribulation with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with a trumpet, and you will know he's coming. They're not one thing, saints. It's a pre-tribulation rapture of those waiting, watching, and ready. It's a mid-tribulation rapture at the end of the time of the Gentiles, and he'll come with a shout. And then he has to catch up those Hebrews, those ones that are still alive and remain when he comes at the end of the age. They're all right. Be prepared. He wants and he's calling a people to be prepared and to go to that wedding feast. But you must walk with him and be prepared and be alert. If not, you will be prepared when he comes with a shout and with the archangel and with the trumpet.